Good morning, friends. What a week, right? I'm Chris Volpe, running for JD Vance's Senate seat in Ohio for the 2026 special election. And speaking of special elections, we had a big one this week. I'm a few days late on this, but it's mostly because I wanted to kind of see how things filtered out in the news before I said anything. But Tennessee had a special election this week, which resulted in a Republican win for Matt Van Epps. But that's not really the story of the moment. The story of the moment is that his competitor, Aftyn Behn, and this is for the 7th congressional district, Aftyn Behn came in at about 8.5-ish, 9% loss. And you're like, well, why does that matter, right? Losing is losing. And yes, a win is a win. Van Epps won. They retained the seat in Congress for the Republicans. But this is a district that went for Trump in 2024, so just over a year ago, by 22 points. So we saw about a 13 to 14 point swing in a very red Tennessee district. And I think for me, this illustrates a couple of things. One, I think you have to give Aftyn Behn, she ran a great campaign to be able to pull that out. A lot of energy. Seemed like the volunteers were really, really excited. So good for her. Congratulations on that front. But it really illustrates to me something important. And this is something that I have said on the campaign trail, excuse me. It's early in the morning here on the campaign trail, but also when I talk to other candidates and Democratic establishment, is that we should be running candidates in every district possible. And a lot of strategists will tell you, well, we need to put the money where it can do the most use, and we can't be dividing our forces too much. I get that. I understand that strategically. But the thing to remember, too, is if you can create competitive districts like this, and we're going to talk about why this is competitive in a second, but if you can create more competitive districts like this, it also thins out their donor supply. It makes it so that they have to spend time and money in districts that they ordinarily would not have to. And so it's always been my contention that even if you think you're going to lose, if we can find a good candidate that will be capable of running in a district, even if they're going to get blown out of the water, if they can start shoring up a couple of points here, a couple of points there, it's not too long before you can turn a plus 22 into a plus 15, a plus 10, a plus 8. And then now you are really in a competitive spot, not only to potentially win, but again, to utilize their resources, make them have to send out their top people to go do rallies, make them have to spend more money on television advertising, flyers, phone banking, make them have to get volunteers. I'm a big believer. Many of you have heard me say this a ton of times. It's like, we can win a lot of these races just by efficiency, by being a lot more efficient than them. A lot of these, particularly local campaigns, this was for Congress, but when you're looking at a lot of the local campaigns, they're just normal folks that are kind of jumping in because they want to do some, public service for their community. They don't have the big infrastructure. They don't have, websites set up or anything like that. They don't have mail lists, no call lists for press. If we could provide those to candidates that we think are good and serious and are out there, we can save a tremendous amount of time and money. I mean, just looking at my campaign when I started, I had to do everything from scratch. I got literally no help from the Ohio Democratic Party and establishment Democrats, no help. And so I've had to build everything with my team from scratch. All of our contact lists, our mail lists, our volunteer lists. We built our own website. We created our own assets. All of that stuff has to be done by scratch. Oh, excuse me. We're getting apologies. Somebody wanted up. Morning, babes. We had to build that all from scratch, and that takes a lot of time. If we could save people time on that, it would be amazing. But that's neither here nor there for the moment. But one of the big things that contributed to this election was that this was actually part of a Republican gerrymandered district in which they have been trying to, I guess, dilute some of the Nashville blue vote by connecting those segments into other more heavily red areas so that they can possibly dilute enough and create enough seats where all that blue vote that's in Nashville ends up, being distributed amongst multiple districts and thus not able to really be as effective or as useful. And I think this might be a sign that that strategy can potentially backfire on them. 8 points, it's a lot. Don't get me wrong. Like I think it's like 8.5 right now. That's a lot to make up in an election for a red area. But the fact that it's so close that it's within single digits for a plus 22 district, I think this gerrymandering strategy that the Republican leadership has been doing has a real chance of backfiring significantly and blowing up in their face. So I think that this is something that we should really be cognizant of, and we should be looking at these districts and providing help and support. Because again, an effective, efficient party that shows up day after day, I think you'll be surprised at how often they'll win these races, or at least how much they'll drag down their opponents because of the time, effort, and money that will be needed to be sent in there. So just my 2 cents on it, a little quick thoughts. I think it's really important right now. So, people ask me, what can you do? Really important right now to be active and engaged. Find out who is running locally in your area and reach out to them, reach out to their campaign, see if you can help with phone banking or volunteering. Hell, my campaign, we need volunteers. If you can donate money to a campaign, do it. We certainly need donations. You can do that at volpeforamerica.com/donate if you're interested in supporting me and the campaign. But now is the time to double our efforts. I know there's a lot of scary stuff going on. It's exhausting. Trust me, guys. I get it. It's super exhausting. But now is the time to double down, because they seem like they're on their back foot. Just looking at what's going on with Trump and the administration right now, and I've got other videos coming out about that. They are clearly giving an indication that it is collapsing in on itself right now. And, you got to be careful, because, a cornered wolf will strike, right? You know that people like Trump, when their back is against the wall, they will lash out. But this is a time for us to really double down and start advocating for things that are important. All these values: universal health care, education, better jobs, lower cost of groceries and electricity, affordable housing, like all of these things. We should be banging these drums every day from here on out about how we are going to fix those problems for you. So anyway, just a quick thought. I really appreciate it. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Reminder, you can follow me at Volpe for America on all of the social medias. VolpeForAmerica.com is my website. Again, if you can spread the word, my ask of you is if you can spread the word and let people know about the campaign, get more social media followers on there. I greatly appreciate it. If you can donate, we certainly need the money. We've got a tough primary coming up here against establishment Democrats, and then we're going to have an even tougher general election against John Husted, who I think has been completely detrimental to the people of Ohio. So anyway, really appreciate it. Always love talking to you. I hope you're doing well on this Friday, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.